Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulihil kareem. Wa rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. So today is the second Sarf session, and if you are able to hear me, can you confirm in chat? Jazakumullah khair. So let me start with the Failul Maadhi conjugation. Okay. So as I told you last week that this study of Sarf or in Arabic language, the words are made of some prime letters, which is called root letters. And these root letters are mostly 3 or 4. So different words are formed either by 3 root letters or 4 root letters. So we are now discussing only those which are 3 root letters. And because most of the Arabic language, bulk of words are like 98% of the words, Arabic words, are coming from 3 root letter based words. And now within that also there are 2 types of words. Like there are words that only contains the Hua version of Failul Maadhi, only contains root letters and no extra letters with that. So they are only supported with harakat. And these are called mujarrad, thulathi mujarrad. You don't need to remember the name if it's difficult for you. Then there is another category which contains root letters, 3 root letters, but they are supplemented with other letters also. So they contain not just root letters, but something extra also. These are called Thulathi Majid that we are going to study also. So now at present we are, I'm taking only Thulathi Mujarrad, which means those words which are based on only 3 root letters in the Hua version of Failul Maadhi. Okay. So let's do the conjugation of Failul Maadhi. Let's take another word today, shakara. Shakara means he thanked. And see, you know, shakara, it's again Hua version. So normally we are always in Arabic language, you are first finding out the Hua version of that, and from that you are deriving other words. So shakara means he thanked, shakara means they both thanked, shakaru, they all thanked, shakarat, she thanked, shakarata, they both females thanked, shakarna, they all females thanked. Then shakarta, you thanked, shakartuma, you both thanked, masculine, shakartum, you all thanked, plural, masculine. Shakarti, shakartuma, shakartunna, shakartu, shakarna. So again, shakara, 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 shakaru, shakarat, shakarata, shakarna, shakarta, shakartuma, shakartum, shakarti, shakartuma, shakartunna, shakartu, shakarna. So please repeat with me loudly on your side. Shakara, shakara, shakaru, shakarat, shakarata, shakarna, shakarta, shakartuma, shakartum, shakarti, shakartuma, shakartunna, shakartu, shakarna. Okay, this is Failul Maadhi. Now, as I mentioned, when we talk about words in Sarf, the first thing we do is we need to know the starting point. And the starting point always in Arabic language is the Hua version. The starting point is always the Hua version. Like in the previous Failul Maadhi table, first thing is you start from the Hua version, which is masculine, singular, third person. Okay. So you find out the word of Hua version, and from there you keep on deriving. So if you see the previous example, Shakara, which is the Hua version, and then you derive from this word all the 14 conjugations, all the 14 conjugations of the representing each pronoun. So like if you know the Hua version, you can know all the words. You can reach anywhere. So from Hua you can reach to Huma. From Hua you can reach to Hum. So what is the difference here? Which Shakara you are just adding the file here, which is indicated by Alif, which indicates two third persons. Okay. Here we are adding Vav, which indicates plural. Again, here in the Hia version Shakarat, so there is only Ta added, which indicates femininity. It's feminine. So it's only Ta added here. Just a minute. So today I have to handle everything. So, okay. So Shakara. So this way you do the conjugation. Okay. So what is important is there has to be a starting point somewhere. So that starting point in Arabic language is Hua. Once you know the Hua form of any word, you can find out all the 14 probabilities. So if you know the Hua form, you can know the Hia form, the Hia version of that. If you know the Hua of any word, for example, Kharaja, if you know the Kharaja means he left. So you will know the feminine form of that here, it will be Kharajat. So this way, like from Hua you can reach to Huma, from Hua you can reach to Hum, and same thing to Anta, Anti. So you can reach anywhere. You can form any of these words if you just know the Hua version of it. So if suppose you are, now once you become experts in Arabic language, so what will happen? Suppose you encounter a new word. Whenever you will encounter a new word, so what you will do? You will go back and you will try to find its Hua version. And from that Hua version, you can derive all the possibilities. Okay. Now I'm going to again repeat how do you form Failul Mudaare? How do you form Failul Mudaare? I'm going to explain to you in detail today. So please focus. It's very, very important topic today. Today I'm going to cover very important topics. So please focus. If you have any difficulty, if you do not understand anything, you can ask a question in chat, whether YouTube or Zoom. But it's very important. So let's see. In Failul, whenever you want to, as I mentioned, whenever you want to know or you want to identify the words, your starting point has to be there, and that is the Hua version. So for example, in the Failul Maadhis, we have done so many practices in the previous book. We have taken so many conjugation in the previous book. So we have done the conjugation for Kharaja, Jalasa, Sami'a, Darasa, and all these were what? Mostly Thulathi Mujarrad. These were 3-letter based, and their Hua version was having only 3 root letters, no extra letters. Okay. So all those things, how did we do the conjugation? We used to always start from the Hua version of it. Same thing we will do it for Failul Mudaare also. In Failul Mudaare, what we have to do is we have to find its Hua version first. The first step is to find its Hua version in Failul Mudaare. Like in Failul Maadhi, in Failul Mudaare also, you have to first identify the starting point, and the starting point is hua version. Once you know the starting point, once you know the hua version of fi'l al-mudari, then it's a piece of cake. It's nothing. It's very fast. Then the other versions are just formed very easily through conjugation. Once you know the technique of conjugation, as you are familiar with the technique of fi'l al-Maadhi conjugation, then you will be able to know the technique of fi'l al-Mudaare conjugation. So rest of the words will just pour in. It will just come. It will be so easy for you. So the difficult part is first to identify the hua version. That is the difficult part. If you get hold of how to find out the hua version of fi'l al-Mudaare, things will be very simplified. And today I'm going to teach you the technique. How do you make fi'l al-Mudaare of hua version? If you have understood this, you will become expert in that. Then rest of the things you can form very easily through conjugation, brothers and sisters. So it's very important. Please focus and take your notes as much as you can. Okay. So what you have to do is first find the hua version of Mudaare, and then rest of the things are very simple. So let's see, how do you find the hua version of Mudaare? Okay. Let's see what's the procedure for that? What is the process for that? Let's see that. The procedure to form fi'l al-Mudaare, hua version of fi'l al-Mudaare, you can form it from the hua version of fi'l al-Maadhi. So the hua version of Mudaare is derived from hua version of Maadhi. Clear? The hua version of Mudaare is derived from hua version of Maadhi. Clear? Okay. So let's see. So first thing is, when you know the hua version of fi'l al-Maadhi, just make its Fakalima sakin. Just make its Fakalima sakin. Now, brothers and sisters, this rule is for Sulasi Mujarrad. This rule is for Sulasi Mujarrad. What is Sulasi Mujarrad? Those words that are based on 3 root letters and their hua version of fi'l al-Maadhi contains only root letters, no extra letters. So this rule is for Sulasi Mujarrad. Okay. So the Fakalima will take Sukun. The Fakalima will take Sukun. That's the first step. So when you are converting Maadhi to Mudaare, put Sukun on the Fakalima. So if you have Zahaba, which is he went, so you will put Sukun on Zal. You will put Sukun on Zal. Why? Because that is the Fakalima. Clear? What is the second step? The second step is you add Ya in the beginning. You add Ya in the beginning. That is the second step. So first you make Sukun, Fakalima. The second thing is you add Ya in the beginning. Okay. And what is the third thing? The Lam Kalima will take the sign of Halatul Raf. I told you, like Ism, Fail also have something called I'rab. And I told you, what are the I'rab of Ism? What are the I'rab of Ism? How many I'rab are there? 3 I'rab of Ism. And what are they? Halatul Rafa, Halatul Nasb, and Halatul Jar. Halatul Jar. So this is in Ism. Now same thing is there in Fi'l also. In Fi'l also there is Halatul Rafa. Also there is Halatul Nasb. And instead of Halatul Jar, it is Halatul Jazm. Halatul Jazm. Okay, so the last one is halatul jazm. So the lam kalima will take the i'rab or rafa. So what is the i'rab of rafa in fi'l? It is dhamma, right? The i'rab of rafa in fi'l is dhamma. And know that all these hala, the status, this I'm talking about rafa, nasab and jar. This is only for fi'lun mudaare. Okay, it's not valid for Maadhi. It is not valid for Maadhi. So here we are talking about Mudaare and more. So inshallah you will know it more. So I'm talking about Mudaare. Now, so lam kalima takes rafa. Fa kalima takes sukun. What about ain kalima? What about ain kalima? So ain kalima, very soon you will know it. Okay, I'm not talking about ain kalima now. Very soon you will know it, ain kalima. Okay, let's go step by step. First, find out how to make the Mudaare from Maadhi to the Hua version. Now, this is the procedure for that. So, for example, if I have a fi'lul Maadhi, which is fa'ala, which means he did, past tense, fi'lul Maadhi, fa'ala. Now, let's follow these steps. What is the first step? The first step is put sukun on the fa kalima. Put sukun on the fa kalima. So fa will take sukun instead of fatha. It will take sukun. Then what is the next step? You add ya prefix. So before fa, you will add ya here. Okay, you will add ya here. And lam kalima will take rafa. So instead of fa'ala, la in the end, it will become lu. So how it will be? It will become yaf'alu. It will become yaf'alu. Okay. This is the procedure to make Mudaare from Maadhi. What kind of Mudaare? I'm telling you, our starting point is always Hua version. So every time you are encountering a new word, you will try to go first to the starting point, and then you will find out. So this is the way to find out the Hua version of Mudaare. Okay. Now let's go into some examples. Okay. So shakara. Shakara is he thanked. This is the Hua version of Fi'lul Maadhi. Now we will make it from this shakara, we will make it Mudaare. Okay, we will make it Mudaare. So let's follow this step. The first step is add sukun on fa kalima. The first step is add sukun on fa kalima. So let's I have put sukun on sheen. What is the fa kalima in shakara? It is sheen is the fa kalima, ain kalima is kaf, and lam kalima is ra. Okay, so I have put sukun on sheen. What is the next step? The next step is to add ya in the beginning. So I have put ya in the beginning. Okay, so it became yashkara. Then what lam kalima will take the halat of raf. So it will take dhamma, yashkuru, yashkuru. Now, as some of the sisters, they have written in the chat window, yashkaru. Why, sister, here it was fatha, ain kalima was taking fatha, but here it became dhamma. But I told you, let's not worry about ain kalima now. It is changing the sign. Ain kalima is changing the sign, but we will talk about ain kalima some little bit later. Don't worry, you will understand. But as for now, we are focusing only on fa kalima and lam kalima. Focus on this. So the correct word is yashkuru. So ain kalima took Dhamma. But why it took Dhamma? You don't know the reason now. You will know the reason very soon. Okay. Now let's take another example. Okay. Is it clear, brothers and sisters? If you have any question, please type in the chat window. Okay. Let's take another example. Sami'a. Sami'a means he heard. Sami'a means he heard. Okay. Let's apply the rule. Add sukun to Fakalima. Yes. So it is this sin, meme, this sin sukun, and then you add ya before it. So this became yasmi'a, and then you will make it into Dhamma. So it became yasma'u. It became yasma'u. Okay, now here again, Ain Kalima changed from Kasra to Fatha. Why it changed? You will know it, okay, later. Now I'm taking you step by step. I'm not jumping directly. So first, these two things are easy to understand. Putting Sukun on Fa Kalima and putting Dhamma on Lam Kalima. This is for Thulathi Mujarrad. Thulathi Mujarrad are those fail which take only 3 root letters in the Hua version of Maadhi. Okay, no extra letters in that. Okay, so this is Sami'a became Yasma'u. Okay, let's go with another one. Another example. Karuma means he became noble. Karuma. So this is again, we follow this process. So it became Yakrumu. So see, now we have formed 3 is from Maadhi to Mudaare. So here it is what this is Shakara. He thanked became Yashkuru. It became Yashkuru. What it became? Yashkuru. He thanked, he thanks. Sami'a, he heard. Yasma'u, he hears. Karuma, he became noble. Yakrumu, he is noble. Okay. So this is the procedure to make Failul Maadhi to Failul Mudaare from Failul Maadhi. The procedure to make Hua version of Failul Mudaare from Failul Maadhi. Clear? Okay. If this is clear, I will go to the next step. Okay. So these are Hua version of Failul Mudaare. These are Hua version of Failul Mudaare. Clear? Okay. Now, the Failul Mudaare are formed by adding prefixes and suffixes also. What are prefixes? The letters that you add in the beginning to the Hua version of Maadhi. And what are suffixes? Suffixes are the letters that you add in the end of the Hua version of Failul Maadhi. So the allowed prefixes are Alif, Hamzatul Qata, Ta, Ya, and Noon. These are the allowed letters that can be added in the beginning. You can remember these by the word Ataina. You can memorize this word Ataina. Hamza, Ta, Ya, Noon. This becomes a word Ataina. Okay. So you can remember with this word Ataina. The allowed suffixes are Ani, Ina, Una, and Na. These are the allowed suffixes to make Mudaare, okay, from Hua version of Mudaare. Okay, so these are the suffixes that are prefixes and suffixes that are allowed. For example, Yaf'aluna. Here we added the prefix in the beginning, Ya, one of the Ataina one. So here we added Ya before, and we added Una at the end. una, which is suffix. We added una at the end. So this is yaf'aluna, means they all did. They all are doing. So this is mudaare. So they all are doing. Okay, or they all do. You can even say they all do. Okay. So now in the previous examples, the 3 examples that we did of converting from Maadhi to Mudaare, what prefix we added? We added ya. So for Hua version, we added ya to that. One of these ataina, we added ya to that. But we did not add any suffix. So suffixes are not added for everything. Suffixes are not added for everything. And you will know it very soon in the next conjugation. So see, as I mentioned, you have to come to the starting point first. Like in Fi'lul Maadhi also, you come to the starting point. And you identify the Hua version of Fi'lul Maadhi. And once you know the Hua version of Fi'lul Maadhi, then you can conjugate all the 14 versions of Fi'lul Maadhi. Same thing. First, you find out the Hua version of Fi'lul Mudaare. And I taught you how to convert Hua, how to make Hua version of Fi'lul Mudaare from Hua version of Fi'lul Maadhi. Now you have the Hua version of Fi'lul Mudaare. Now, how can you find out the other rest of the Fi'lul Mudaare? Through this table. So we've found out in the previous example, 2 slides before, that we from a word from shakara, we made it yashkuru, which means he thanks. Yashkuru. This is Mudaare. So let's see, this is the Hua version, yashkuru. Now for the 3rd person dual or pair, it will be yashkurani. It will be yashkurani. So it seems that ya is added for 3rd person. It seems the ya is added for 3rd person, masculine. And something must be striking to you with ani. Something must be striking to with ani. What is this ani? You have learned this. Okay. What is this ani? You have learned this in the previous book. When we were trying to find out for the ism also duals, muslimuna, muslimani, mu'minani, right? So in there also, in ism also you add ani for the dual, right? So it's easy to remember. For suffix, whenever dual is coming, you will add ani. Very simple. Now, let's see the home version. Okay. Home version, yashkuruna. This is also, you are familiar with this. Muslimuna, mu'minuna. So here also this is okay. So you will know how to find the home version of Fi'lul Mudaare. So what you are doing is, first you find Hua version of Fi'lul Mudaare. Now from this Hua version of Fi'lul Mudaare, you are finding other versions. So you find this Hua version of Fi'lul Mudaare from Hua version of Fi'lul Maadhi. And then from the Hua version of Fi'lul Mudaare, you derive rest of the fi'l. Clear, brothers and sisters? Is it clear? Okay. So this is yashkuruna. Now let's find the Hiya version. Hiya version is tashkuru. Now instead of adding ya, which was all the time here, but here I added tashkuru. Now something must be still striking to you. In the previous study, we were talking about ta'utanis, the feminine ta. Okay. So when it is talking about she, 3rd person, which means hiya, so you, instead of using ya, you will use ta. So tashkuru. Okay, this is also easy. Now same thing, what do you expect She version of Huma. What do you expect? She version of Huma. Just guess. It should be very easy. You have to identify its feminicity. Okay. And also you have to Tashkurani. Very good. Tashkurani. Now guess what could be for the Hunna version? What could be for the Hunna version? Yes. So it will be different. Yashkurna. It will be different. Yashkurna. Now this Hunna is a troublemaker in Mudaare. This Hunna is a troublemaker in Mudaare. Why not Ta? No, it is Ya here. Just remember that. Why not Ta? It is Ya, Ya. So just this is the exception here, brothers and sisters. Yashkurna. This is the exception. Otherwise, things are very simple. Yashkuru, Yashkurani, Yashkuruna, Tashkuru, Tashkurani, Yashkurna. Okay, let's go to the second person now. Anta. Anta, again, for the second person, you will use Ta in the beginning, Tashkuru. You will use Ta in the beginning, Tashkuru. So Ta is used for second person as well as for these two feminine cases. The Hiya version of feminine third person and Huma version of feminine third person. This Ta is used for second person and the Hiya version of feminine third person and Huma version of feminine third person. Clear? Tashkuru. Now, what could be the Antuma version for this? Tashkurani. What could be the Antum version for masculine? Antum version. Tashkuruna. Well done. Tashkuruna. So what is the Anti version of this? Anti version of this. Anti. Singular, second person feminine. So it is Tashkurina. Now this is exceptional. Tashkurina. So this exception you have to remember. Tashkurina. So here comes the Ina. So I told you there are suffixes called Ani. There is suffixes called Una. There is suffix called Na. And there is suffix called Ina. And this Ina only comes with second person singular feminine. That's it. It doesn't come anywhere else. It doesn't come anywhere else. So this is easy to remember. Ina only comes with second person feminine. Anti. That's all. It will not come with anything else. Brothers and sisters, these are very important tips I'm telling you. If you understand this, you can convert, you can make a lot of conjugation. You can do a lot of conjugation of Fedul Mudaare, which people find it very difficult to remember. So, Ina is only used with Anti version. Okay. Now, Antuma, what could be the Antuma version of this? Again, Tashkurani. What could be Antunna version of this? Tashkurna. So see, Hunna, Antunna, they are similar. Both of them are taking na as a prefix. But here it is ya for the Hunna version. Ya, it is ta as a Antunna version. So what is important to note here is in the second person, all the prefixes are ta. All the prefixes are ta, always. All the prefixes are ta. And this ta is also coming for feminine Hiya version and feminine Huma version. That's it. So it's simple. And now for first person, it is very simple. For first person is Ashkuru, okay? And for plural, it is Nashkuru. Clear? Nashkuru. Now you should be able to, you should not find any difficulty in this conjugation, brothers and sisters. Yashkuru, yashkurani, yashkuruna, tashkuru. Brothers and sisters, okay, I will begin again. Please repeat with me. Please repeat with me loudly on your side. Yashkuru, yashkurani, yashkuruna, tashkuru, tashkurani, yashkurna, tashkuru, tashkurani, tashkuruna, tashkurina, tashkurani, tashkurna, ashkuru, nashkuru. Okay, clear? Okay. Do you want to take another example? Okay, fine. Now you do this conjugation. Yadhabu, he is going. Yadhabu. So Hua version is Yadhabu. What is Huma version of that? MashaAllah. MashaAllah. Sister Juwairi, you are very fast. She wants to tell her answers quickly so that before anyone can write. MashaAllah. Good. Yadhabu, yadhabani, yadhabuna. Very good. Now what is the Hiya version? Tadhabu, good. This Huma version. Tadhabani, good. What about Hunna version? Yadhaba? No, no, no. Yadhabna, not Yadhaba. Yadhabna. Yes, Yadhabna. Good. Now Anta version. Anta version. Tadhabu, good. Antuma. Antuma. Tadhabani. Antum. Tadhabuna, good. Anti. Anti. Sister Nahida, Anti. Tadhabina. Tadhabina. Okay. And Ina is only coming with Anti version. Remember that. Antuma, feminine. Antuma, feminine. Tadhabani. Antunna, feminine. Antunna. Tadhabna. Good. MashaAllah. And Ana version. Adhabu. MashaAllah. Nahnu version. Nadhabu. Good. MashaAllah. You are expert in Fi'l al-Mudaare. Okay. You are expert in Fi'l al-Mudaare. Okay. Each one of you should bring at least 10 students with you to attend this class. Tell to your relatives, friends, bring as many people as possible. Okay, I want everyone to be, you know why I want maximum people to attend this class? Because I want all of you also to earn this ajr of learning Arabic, because you are learning it for the purpose of learning Quran. Yes, Jazakumullah khair, all of you. Yes. Okay. Now we will focus the difficult part. The changes in Ain Kalima. So what I taught you till now, I taught you how to make Hua version of Mudaare. And to make Hua version of Mudaare, I told you what Fa Kalima will take and what Lam Kalima will take. But I left Ain Kalima without any explanation. Then I told you, once you acquire Hua version of Mudaare, how can you find out other 14 conjugations, total 14 conjugations? And I explained to you that. So once you become expert in that, now we will go to the Ain Kalima part. What about Ain Kalima changes? Let's find out. Before we go into Ain Kalima changes, let us see Failul Maadhi again. Let us see Failul Maadhi again. I told you in Thulathi Mujarrad, those fail that contains only 3 root letters in the Hua version of Maadhi without any extra letters. Thulathi Mujarrad. Okay? In this, I told you there are 3 letters, Fa, Ain, and Lam. Let's say. Okay? It has only 3 letters. Now let us find out in Thulathi Mujarrad what are different combinations of Failul Maadhi I can make from these 3 letters. Let's find out. So what are the signs these 3 letters can take? Let's see. So Fa can take Fatha, Ain can take Fatha, Lam can take Fatha. This is one combination. What is the second combination? Fa can take Fatha, Ain can take Kasra, Ain can take Kasra, Lam can take Fatha. Clear? What is another combination that you can think of? Fa can take Fatha, Ain can take Dhamma, and Lam can take Fatha. All right? You understood? So all these, I'm looking at probabilities for Thulathi Mujarrad. I'm looking at probabilities for Failul Maadhi. Okay? So these are different probabilities. These are different combinations that can be found. Anything more you can suggest? Anything more you can suggest? Or no? Brothers and sisters, no. Sister Asha said no. So there is no other combination possible? Any other answer? Oh, mashallah. Yes. Mashallah, mashallah. Yes, there is no other combination possible. Why? Because Fa Kalima will always be Fatha. Lam Kalima will always be Fatha in Thulathi Mujarrad. Okay? The changes are happening only in the Ain Kalima. The changes are happening only in the Ain Kalima. Clear? Yes. So these are the only 3 combinations possible. These are the only 3 combinations that are possible. So what are the words we are getting from these? We are getting from these Fa'ala, we are getting Fa'ila, and we are getting Fa'ula. Right? So these are the 3 that is possible in Thulathi Mujarrad. Fa'ala, Fa'ila, Fa'ula. Clear, brothers and sisters? All these are Failul Maadhi. All these are Failul Maadhi. Let's see examples of that. Shakara, which you have done it before. Shakara, because Ain Kalima is only changing. Fine. Lam Kalima is Fatha, Fatha only always. So Shakara is example of that. He thanked. For Fa'ila, an example. Samia, good. Samia is the example for Fa'ila. What is the example for Fa'ula? Last week I have to Karuma, good. He became noble. So these are the examples of Failul Maadhi. Brothers and sisters, when we are studying these words, the miracles of words in this Arabic language, this is really, you will enjoy this study, Sarf. This study, we do it always not, we don't study separately Failul Maadhi, we don't study separately Failul Mudaare, Rather, we combinedly talk about them. So here you have found out there are three combinations of Fi'l Maadi that are possible in Thulathi Mujarrad. But what happens? How do you find? You derive from these Fi'l Maadi, you derive Mudaare, right? You derive Mudaare. So each of these combinations, you can have several Mudaare coming out of this. So if from these combinations, there are several Mudaare coming out. From this combination, there are several Mudaare coming out. From this combination, also Mudaare coming out. Right? So there are Mudaare coming out of these combinations. Using the technique which I have shown you how to convert from Maadhi to Mudaare. Clear, brothers and sisters? So see how this tree is building up. So from there are three possibilities for in Thulathi Mujarrad. Now out of these three possibilities, there are several possibilities of Mudaare. Clear? There are several possibilities of Mudaare. So let us find out that. Let us find out that. So what we will do is, we will find out, let's find out for the first group first, which is Fa'ala. Let's find out the possibilities of Mudaare from Fa'ala. Brothers and sisters, is it okay? Is it easy, or you are getting overwhelmed? Is it okay? Okay. Or I'm going too fast? Okay, fine. So let's find out from the Fa'ala version now. Okay. The possibilities to find Mudaare, Fa'ala. I have taken the first case. Now from Fa'ala, I can make, using the technique I showed you, how to make from, this is the Hua version of Fi'l Maadi. So we will first find out the Hua version of Fi'l Mudaare. So I can, what is the rule I will follow? This is the rule I will follow. The rule is add Sukun to Fakalima, add Ya in the beginning, and put Rafa Halat to Lam Kalima. This is the rule. So what I will get? I will get Yaf'ulu. I will get Yaf'ulu. Now, brothers and sisters, I'm converting Hua version of Maadhi to Hua version of Mudaare. Now, what are the possibilities of Mudaare coming out now? What are the possibilities? What are the changes are only happening in the Ayn Kalima here? So what are the what other signs can Ayn Kalima take? What other signs? Yeah, so it can take Yaf'ila, and it can take Yaf'ilu, and it can take Yaf'alu. So these are the three combinations that are possible. These are the three combinations that are possible. So here we get a pair of Maadhi and Mudaare. Fa'ala yaf'ulu, fa'ala yaf'ilu, fa'ala yaf'alu. Clear? Only these three combinations are possible. Any other combination possible? Any other combination possible for Mudaare? No, there is no other sign left. We are talking about, there are only three signs where there are sounds coming. Sukun is not a sign. Sukun is where you stop. So you are talking about Dhamma, Fatha and Kasra only. So this indicates when the Ain Kalima is Fatha in Fi'l Maadi, this Ain Kalima is a middleman. See, whenever I was talking about Arab, what is the highest status? Highest status is Dhamma. The little lower middle status is Fatha. And the lowest status is Kasra. You remember this, brothers and sisters, when I was teaching you in the previous book? Okay. Yes. So this guy, this fa'ala ayn kalima sitting in between in the fi'l Maadhi, this is the middleman. He can go up, he can go down, he can step up, he can step down. See, Prophet ﷺ said, when you follow deen, follow the middle course. The people who follow the middle path, they are very flexible. They are the best of people. So Prophet ﷺ said, do not be extremist in things. Do not go into far ends. Follow the middle course. So this guy is very flexible. This guy, he can climb up. So when he climbs up, so you end up getting a Mudaare yaf'ulu. So Dhamma is above him. So you became yaf'ulu. Then he climbs down. So he makes it yaf'ilu. And when he remains as it is in his own status, then it becomes yaf'alu. So here, the Maadhi and Kalima Fatha becomes Kasra. The Maadhi and Kalima Fatha becomes Kasra. So in the first case, it becomes Dhamma. Fatha becomes Dhamma. Fatha becomes Kasra. Fatha becomes Fatha. Fatha remains Fatha. So three possibilities are possible in this because he is flexible. He's a middleman. So let's take an example of this. Yaf'ala yaf'ulu. So whenever we will be talking about Sarf, we will not just talk about Maadhi separately and Mudaare separately. We will always talk about them in pairs. We will talk them together. So we will say fa'ala yaf'ulu. The example of this is Nasara yansuru. Nasara fa'ala yansuru yaf'ulu yansuru yaf'ulu. Understand? Nasara yansuru. He helped. Nasara yansuru. He helps. Nasara, he helped. Yansuru, he helps. Okay, so this is the example of this. What about the example of yaf'ilu? Daraba yadribu. Daraba yadribu. He hit. He hits. He striked. He strikes. Okay. Daraba yadribu. Daraba fa'ala. Daraba fa'ala. Daraba. Yaf'ilu yadribu. Yaf'ilu yadribu. Okay. Now, what is the combination we can get, example we can get for fa'ala yaf'alu is fataha yaftahu. Fataha, he opened. Yaftahu, he opens. So here, fa'ala fataha. Yaf'alu yaftahu. Now these things. Yes. So in Mudaare, as I mentioned, Mudaare contains present and future both. Okay. So you can, it depends on the context. So you can say he strikes, or you can even say he will strike. Yes. Okay. So here I can call this itself, I can call it as, I can call it as Bab Nasara. What is this Bab? This is Bab, okay, this is Bab Nasara. I have given the name of this Bab from this Maadhi version of this. This I will call this as Bab Daraba. This I will call this as Bab Fataha. Now, what is this Bab? Imagine these are families. Like you have a family. You have in us also, we have families, father, mother, and they have children. Every family will have some common characteristics in them. So in the same way, this combination of Maadhi and Mudaare has formed one family. We call this family from today as Nasara Yansuru family, or we can call it as Bab Nasara. And then this Fa'ala Yaf'ilu we have formed another family, which is daraba yadribu. We can call it as bab daraba also. And then from fa'ala yaf'alu, we formed another, from this combination, we formed another family called fataha yaftahu, or we can call it as bab fataha. Bab means door. Okay. So this is in Arabic, the Arabic grammarians, they call them as bab, or you can call it as family. Now we have two members in this family here now, Nasara Yansuru. In this family, we have another two, in this another family, again, there are two members, Daraba Yadribu. In this family also, there are two members, Fataha Yaftahu. We are going to increase this family very soon, inshallah, brothers and sisters. More members will be added in each of these families. Okay? More members will be added to each of these families. Sir, yes, there are. No, that is wrong. It will not come. Yadrabu will not come. This will be in it. So you have to identify which words will go into which family. Okay? You will identify. I will show you the techniques, which word will go. So it will never be yadrubu, as you are saying. It will yadrabu, it will never be there. This daraba is belonging to this family only. So there are a lot of words which will go into this family, a lot of words which will go into this family, a lot of words will go. So they are different families. So Arabic words are defined, is distributed into different families. Ain kalima sign does not follow a rule. No, here we are not talking. Yes, so this is all related to Ain kalima. These are changes in the Ain kalima. So I'm telling you this technique. So it's not difficult technique, brothers and sisters. When it comes to fa'ala, Ain kalima takes fatha, three possibilities are there, which is deriving three families. It is deriving three families. Now I will go to the second combination also. Okay, what did I say before? There are three combinations which came out of Maadhi, fa'ala, fa'ila, fa'ula. Now from this, you derived from fa'ala, you found three families. Okay, Sister Tasneem, is it clear? I don't know whether I have answered your questions or I understood your questions clearly. How do we know which family it belongs to? I will show you that technique. Now I'm just identifying the families to you now. When I'm going to go into the details of families, I'm going to explain to you which word will go. Okay? Don't worry. So brothers and sisters, for now, just assume that you have discovered the family. You have found two couples going there, Nasara Yansuru, you say, this is one family. You found another two couples going there, Daraba Yadribu, you say, that is Daraba family. You found another couple going there, Fataha Yaftahu, you found Fataha family. Now, how you are going to identify, I am going to teach you that. No, don't worry. This is the basics of Sarf, and you have to understand this, brothers and sisters. These things you have to memorize. I have simplified this subject to the best of my capacity. And you will find it is easy to know. Okay? You will find that if you will practice it, you will find it very easy. Don't worry. You have to just remember this. Nasara Yansuru, Daraba Yadribu, Fataha Yaftahu. This combination you have to memorize. Okay? So you don't need to worry about it. Very soon you will find new words. So you will say, okay, this word will go into Daraba family. Then you'll find another word. So you'll say, this word will go into Nasara family. Then you'll find, so this way you will know it. Now I'm just introducing you to the families, how to identify them. which word will go into which family, I'm not teaching you that now. That will come afterwards. But have you understand till now how the families are formed? Have you understand till now how the families are formed? If you have understood this, that's sufficient. How to identify a word which will go into family, that is a second challenge. If you have only understood this part, that how the family is formed, that is sufficient for now. Okay, that is sufficient for now. And believe me, don't get confuse yourself by listening to, I'm not saying don't listen, but by listening to different people explaining families and babs in different ways, because you will be lost otherwise. I'm teaching you in a simplified technique. I'm teaching you in a simplified technique. Okay. So I think I will stop here. We have only completed this part, fa'ala, and for the other combinations, inshallah, we will continue next week, inshallah. And I might repeat this slide because it will be after 1 week exactly. So I might repeat this slide again for you. Okay. If you have any difficulty, what has been taught to you today, you have few minutes. I will give you a few minutes to ask any question related to that. And you have to see this video again and again. You have to see this video and again, brothers and sisters. Okay. And remember, repeat things with me when you are listening to my video. Yes. So you have to see these videos, especially the Sarf videos again and again, then only you will gain it. Okay. So no more questions. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha